And welcome. This is going to be an all signs reading. This is August 30th, so you know what? I'm just going to count this up to the 2nd. I can't recall if we have an August 31st or not, so maybe this could potentially be a 72-hour reading. I'll check for the rest of the signs, but for right now, this is going to be August 30th to September 2nd. Actually, you know what? I know that this is going to be fine. I'm just going to leave this in. I know that we don't have a 31st because tomorrow is Monday, and that is when the full moon in Pisces is occurring with the sun in Gemini, which is, there's going to be some profound emotional effects on that. We've got the sun in Virgo, which is, self-improvement and growth opportunities and health and how we are organized and how we work and family matters, things of that nature, and how we're prepared, thinking about the future. It's kind of a little bit of like OCD energy, but also kind of like an Empress energy, like an ease of it, a flowing of it. And Virgo is ruled by Vesta, and this is symbolized as both the virgin and the prostitute. So it's looking at both dark and light. It's the high priestess energy, the pillars of dark and light, and really evaluating that. And having the full moon in Pisces come in is, so it's kind of the opposite of what it was when the full moon, or when the sun was in Pisces and the moon was in Virgo, to where illusions were enhanced, really, and a lot of them were broken, but they were magnified in that way. And so we're kind of going to see that again, but it feels like from a lens of having the rose-colored glasses removed, like that Virgo energy being the dominant placement of the sun. Having Pisces come in the moon is in our emotions, but it's like really, it feels like this energy of removing emotions, of seeing, I'm seeing the number 339, which is 6 and 9 is 15, that double energy, which I've been seeing come up a fair amount too. And 212, fives have been coming up a lot too. So changes, instability, possibly a fair amount of drama depending on what kind of environment you've cultivated around yourself. And I'm also seeing a lot of like moving energy, like moving in or out of houses, ending contractual agreements. 5 is also the number of Hierophant, and I'm curious to see what will come out in the cards in terms of that same synchronicity. But I'm getting kind of a mixed feeling for everybody about, it's like kind of this bittersweet feeling, like the endings of things that needed to be ended, and movement towards things that our heart calls us towards, but not like a really fast one, more of a, I don't know, like an acceptance energy. Like the heart wants what the heart wants, and the heart is going towards what the heart wants, but there are things that need to be taken care of first. Let's see what the cards have to say. Thank you, Spirit, for some cards for all signs. Next 48. Oh, alright. Oh, yeah, that's funny. Look what came out, too. Oh, wow. Okay, we got more cards than I expected, but I'm going to go ahead and take them. And I'm using my Alice in Wonderland deck this time. Oh, wow, that's funny. Look what ended up on the bottom. It's the King of Cups. It's the King of Hats. It's Cancer energy mostly, but also Scorpio and Pisces. And it's definitely love energy, and it's mature love. It's not necessarily void of that, like, fun, teenagery love kind of thing, but it's a recognition that genuine love is different than that. Like, it does include that stuff in there, and you have those moments, but it's more enduring, and it's calmer. It's not the loud, in-your-face extremes of somebody who is willing to fight with you. It's not the person who's constantly doing, like, huge romantic gestures. It's not a battle. It's a calm feeling. It's a soothing feeling. It's mature. So I think that's kind of, because that's in the shadow card position for all signs, that's kind of what I think is what this moon is bringing us to look at in that lens, is like the maturity of love, of genuine love, of healthy love, of unconditional love. Cool. So the cards that we got, though, I'm not surprised. The Eight of Flamingos, which is the Eight of Swords. Somebody who is kind of stuck in a victim mentality, but also I'm getting the sense that this is for some of you, this is actually a literal sense. You may be stuck with people around you who are being combative. You may be, some of you have are in like a living situation or arrangement with either someone who acts like this, like they're constantly being attacked, and constantly unable to ever change anything about their lives, but they're not. They're not really trapped. They don't have to interact with those flamingos, and they don't have to act like they're constantly being attacked, and they're not. It's a cycle that they don't need to be in. And if you're in that, I'm seeing two sides. Some of you may actually be like overloaded with various things coming at you. Could be social stuff, could be that all of your friends suddenly want to get together, or it could be that your family's now getting on you about things that you need to do. It could be, I don't know, if some of you are in a twin flame relationship, it could be that the karmic that you're with is causing all sorts of drama and stuff, or her or him and their family are kind of attacking you. And for others, it's your thoughts, it's your anxiety about some kind of situation. Let's see what that situation is. The next card that we have is Ten of Wands reversed. I think somebody's ready to put down their burdens, but they're feeling trapped, which is probably this. Some of you are feeling like you don't have a way out, or like the only answer is to just put down, like maybe you've invested some time in some kind of relationship, and what you're realizing is that you can get out of it, but in order to do it, you have to set down everything that you started to build, that you invested in, that you thought was going to grow more, but you're seeing that it's all fighting. There's no communication. There's no building. And it's just you. Like the Ten of Wands in reverse is definitely that martyr feeling. And those two together definitely come together to create a toxic sort of energy in there that's exhausting. Then we have the it's the King of Wands, but the King of Peppermills in this one. And he's in reverse, so you could be dealing with a Aries, Sag, or Leo person, or someone who has strong placements in that, or somebody who's been kind of a player. Even in upright, the King of Wands is a bit of a player, but in reverse is definitely somebody who's like player, like going around being with multiple people, emotional cheating, physical cheating, not being a good father figure, being very immature and bratty, and I'm getting the sense like it's not, for some of you, this is actually a feminine who is in such toxic energy that they're actually taking on toxic masculinity and being that sort of person. They're using jealousy and other people to try to manipulate and have control over a situation, using their charms and things like that, and they're using this victim mindset to try to keep us from walking away from them, from setting things down and saying, I'm done. And for others of you, I'm really getting called to the fact that in this card, his eyes are closed. And it seems to me like this is for some of you, this is a masculine figure who is closing his eyes to an uncomfortable situation that needs to be ended, kind of feeling that victim and martyrhood. But and he's pacing away from it. But I'm also getting the sense that, you know what, this is some of them, this is what they've been doing. And they're now tired of it. They're done. You know what? Yeah, I think there's plenty of you that are dealing with the masculine figure, regardless of gender, who's doing these things, these three things. They're acting like a victim when they're really not. They're tossing around mean words and exhausting you, and they're being mean, they're being tit for tat, they're doing things like that. And for others of you, this is going to be either you or a masculine figure that you know of who has gotten tired of these games and is ready to release them, is finally putting his I want to say putting his anger where it belongs, learning to have healthy boundaries. And then what came out next, Queen of Oysters. So there's more Capricorn energy than the others, but it could be Taurus and Virgo energy too. And then the Ten of Swords on the bottom. So it could be for some of you that you are dealing with a mother figure of some kind. It's kind of weird because if you look at the way that these cards are coming out, it's almost like she feels on top of her game and her world despite all this stuff going on around her. So for some of you, this could be somebody that you know that you're thinking of amongst all this stuff happening and realizing that, like, she's undisturbed by it, she's comfortable, she's good on her own, even though she definitely would like her king to be there. She may be good with money and resources and be a nurturing sort, but she's not like a outwardly jumpy sort. Okay, sorry about that. There's also kind of this energy of irritation, and there's disruption still happening. That's a lot of what like all of this, like look at these, the Ten of Swords, these four cards in particular, the Ten of Swords, the Eight of Swords, the King of Wands reversed, and the Ten of Wands reversed, like all of them. I mean, even an upright. Okay, so let's turn these upright. Look at all these cards. These are the cards of chaos and drama, right? Now, and especially like if but what's funny is if this Eight of Swords was in reverse, it actually is usually somebody freeing themselves from that sort of mentality. And even the Ten of Wands can be somebody who's getting ready to move into the Page of Wands situation. It's kind of immature, but they're going in the right direction and they're ready to communicate a lot of things. But the way that these are laid out, and especially because we have both feminine and masculine energies, and it kind of feels like for a fair amount of you, either you or someone you're thinking about was worried about public opinion, and they were maybe even worried about what this person would think if they left a situation that's been just like a circus. Chaos and mean words and abusing sacral energy and sexual energy, and it's uncreative, it's uninspiring, it's not kind. It kicks up all sorts of anxiety and it keeps you stuck from ascending to the next level, from ascending. And for others of you, it's just you might receive some communications or some intuitive knowings that someone that you're thinking about is going through that. I'm also getting the sense that, like, for the most part, I think this is the energy of somebody that you're seeing, or they're seeing you in this way as an emotionally and financially stable person, and stable as a parent, and like the kind of person that you can go to, and it's kind of like a quartermaster, like anything you need to know about, come and ask me. If I don't have it, I know where to find it. If I don't know where to find it, I know who does. Or I can find who does. You know, like a very resourceful person, probably a feminine. And for others of you, because of the way that was smothered into the rest of this, this is somebody who feels on top when everything else is chaotic. And they feel good when all this chaos is happening, when this king person is, you know, feeling triggered and bratty and reactive, and when this person is feeling like attacked, and like they feel good when people see them as a victim who's got too many burdens to be able to do anything else, so that they can feel like they're that person. And it may be that you are getting away from that situation. It's a lot of, like, mixed messages what's coming through in my mind, like a lot of things trying to come in. It might be that for some of you, this Pisces moon will be activating and opening up your third eye chakra, your intuition. Pisces is all about intuition. And so be careful. I mean, you could have multiple people in your life even that are in that Queen of Pentacles sort of image, but how many of them are really there in their hearts, you know? I think, yeah, I'm going to leave it there. There's a lot of mixed energy in there now on the hot top. Remember in the bottom that we had the King of Cups there, so I think a lot of that energy is really looking at the little things, like what makes the difference between like mature, healthy love, and why is it so much more worthwhile than like a passionate love that comes with all the chaos. Oh, interesting. Yeah, so hot topic, the Judgment card in reverse. Could be a quest coming to an end. It could actually be, this could be like divorce energy or ending relationships or ending contractual agreements. Some of you could be having a dinner meeting. Some of it positive, some of it negative. There's somebody kind of pompous, possibly somebody with some fire sign placements that you may be talking to is kind of trying to put on an image. For others of you, this could be like an actual legal matter where the judgment either doesn't go in your favor or doesn't go in the favor of the person that you're hearing about. So, make sure that you're standing in your truth. Don't try to be vindictive with people, especially no one can throw stones without having a million reasons why other people can throw stones at their houses. Oh, interesting. Okay, wow. So we have the Six of Swords in reverse in the middle, which is the heart of the matter. And one of the things I love about this card, wow, I just thought about that. So in the Rider-Waite deck, this is usually a man who is in a boat and leaving with a woman and child in tow. Now in this one, it has the Empress in it, who's the sheep in there, and she's sitting with Alice. And it's funny because now that I think about it, that makes me think about usually in the Six of Swords, I'm kind of having like a throat thing, or I haven't like all day. But somebody's probably getting ready to speak up about a situation that is needed to be healed, or a situation that is too broken to go, and they're having trouble speaking those words. But yeah, so I'm thinking the Six of Swords, like that card, the woman in it could be the Empress in it. It makes sense why there'd be a child there with her too, because the Empress is often said to be pregnant, and so a lot of people will assume that when they see the Empress card that somebody's thinking about pregnancy, which wasn't always necessarily there, but that woman figure in it could be the Empress and the child having been born. So for those of you that are looking to learn tarot, there's some fun ways to look at how you can interpret different things. Either way, in the heart of the matter, there's a situation that needs to be healed where somebody's still kind of stuck in the past. They've got some anxieties about it. It could be this person. It could be this King of Wands. Maybe it's you.